Hello, this is Dahlia. So as you can tell, I got my nice shades on, of course, and then I've got my headband on that I use to sleep. It's really, really great. Not sponsored, but just I wanted to say that. But uh, okay, so today I want to talk about the issue that I want to share something that is a sensitive topic, but like when I had some experience in my first college before I transferred to the college I currently go to school at, I had a friend who he was a roommate and he was a friend for a bit. And I want to talk about the issue of when kids don't know how to help end the dysfunction their parents have. So like in this example, obviously I'm not going to share too many details here. Let's just say that my roommate's name was Frederick. And Fred here, he had he was going to college for 4 years as well, like I was, and he wanted to share more about his upbringing, like how he didn't really have his mom in his life for a good percentage of his adolescence, for a good percentage of his upbringing, sadly. Because his mother was, I think, like a drug addict, and she just, divorced from his dad, and it was just a mess, But he shows me something on his Facebook where his mother, is typing a really heartwarming message to one of his photos, like, I'm proud of the man you've become. I love you very much. Very heartwarming stuff, right? Things that every mother should say to their child. And I remember how Frederick, he shows me that. I'm like, oh, that's so nice of her. And he's just like, yeah, but she's, he throws the B word, calls her a B still, and just ignores it. And thinking about it now, I realize how wrong it was for him to just throw away the love language of somebody who was still trying to love him despite her issues. How I don't know what it's like to necessarily have a mother who was a drug addict growing up. She had other issues, but she wasn't a drug addict. And she's a lot better now and all that. But one thing that I don't think I ever did was shun or disrespect or disdain her love language when she tried to, show me love. And I don't know, thinking about it out loud, I realize how wrong it is when kids are so hurt that even when they grow up, their inner child is still hurting, that they just completely throw away when their parents are actually really trying to love them still, really trying to show the good side of them still, and it still gets thrown away by that child. And I think that it's very wrong for people to do that, even when their parents have screwed up, that if they're trying to love you, you ought to, at the very least, accept that they are trying to love you. Even if you're hurt, I'm not saying you have to accept them back in your life if they really wronged you and you're an adult and all that. But what I am saying is that if you really, really don't want their love, you cannot act as if they didn't try. Because some parents are out there where kids are truly saying that their parents have just given up. They've truly given up to try to show their child any love. And it's usually when you have split families or split homes in this way where parents and kids don't get along, it's usually on the parents' issues of them just throwing away their kids' love and not respecting it, right? But in this case, there are instances where it's the reverse, where people are so hurt, they're not even, they're just stuck in some kind of denial that causes them to not realize it. But you know, when you throw away your parents' love, even if they've hurt you so much, you are telling their insecurities that got them to be that way to begin with, to be, say, a drug addict. What likely drove them to be drug addicts is because they thought they weren't good enough for anybody, that they didn't know what love was, they didn't deserve love, they didn't know anything like that, and that's what message they were afraid of coming true. They took the drugs because it was a way for them to still live in that fear, that existential crisis of, can I really love somebody? Am I really good enough to love somebody? But when they try and you throw it away, you're validating that they aren't capable of loving. They're not capable of loving anybody. You're only pushing them further down the drain. You're not helping them realize that, yeah, like, it's ignorant for you to truly keep trying to believe that you I don't know what it's like as a parent, because I'm not a parent, but I would imagine that parents who know their children don't love them, it doesn't make them feel good, especially if they want to love their children. And they really try to, like, they really try to show them love. And, you know, it's like it doesn't feel good for somebody's love language to be thrown away by anybody, you know? You can't blame it on drugs, is what I would tell Fred. You can't say that that's the drugs talking, because she wasn't talking from drugs. She was talking from the heart, and you threw it away. Like that's no good, man. You didn't give them a chance to feel validated that they could love. You only validated what the drugs kept them thinking. That they couldn't know what it was like to love anybody. That they're a selfish person and that they can't love anyone. And I would tell any other child who's now an adult who's hurting because they had parents like that, I would say, you have the right to say, you hurt me. You have the right to even say, I don't want you in my life. But you cannot take from them when they actually tried to show you love. You cannot take that from them. When they actually did. But, yeah, you know, that's all I want to say about that. You know, I hope that people who are in a situation like that, maybe they had a disconnected mother or father who's trying to come back into their lives and is, you know, trying to be more better and trying to love their kids, I would say you don't have to accept it. You just have to accept that they're trying to. You don't have to accept it. You just have to accept that they are really trying to love you. Especially when they say stuff like, I'm proud of the man you've become, or I'm proud of the person you've become. But they say they love you. I mean, I would just say that's not the drugs talking. You know, they'd love you that way without the drugs. If they had never taken drugs ever in their life, they'd love you that way. But, you know, I'll keep doing more stuff like this, because I love sharing my thoughts on this kind of stuff, and I hope everyone else that listens loves to hear me talk about it more. Serious stuff like this maybe gives you a different perspective you never considered about these kinds of subjects. But anyway, I'll catch everyone later. Take it easy.